Good afternoon, all. Do I'm audible?
Yes, I'm audible.
Yeah, yes, madam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, today I'm very glad that I'm having chance to introduce my mentor, my Guruji, Dr. Shashank Thanki sir. Thanki sir is Associate Professor in the Operation Management area in the Institute of Management, Nirma University, Ahmedabad. He has done his PhD in the area of lean and green manufacturing from the Department of Industrial and System Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. His area of research are lean manufacturing, green manufacturing, and additive manufacturing. His publications have appeared in international peer-reviewed journals like Journal of Cleaner Production, Production Planning and Control, Journal of Manufacturing Technology, International Journal of Productivity and Performance Management, Journal of Materials Processing Technology. We are very lucky to have you, sir. Today, sir will discuss about the sustainability approach of Lean Six Sigma. Sir, I would like to request you to please take over the session.
Thank you, Professor Shruti. Thank you very much for having me here and for inviting me for this talk. And good afternoon, all. I understand that post-lunch sessions are always difficult. I had my lunch a few minutes back, so I can understand the scenario at your end also. I'll try to make it as interactive as possible. Mandar, good afternoon. I could see a few familiar participants here. So I'll be talking today on integration of few process improvement strategies and how it will lead to sustainability. Purpose of this session is not to discuss Lean Six Sigma because I think I had gone through the schedule sessions earlier and I could see that you had enough discussion on Lean and Six Sigma strategies or paradigms, we can say. So I would like to add something here, and I will be talking on integration of lean as well as green manufacturing, and then later on, yes, I'll talk about integration of lean, green, and Six Sigma together, all three approaches. But before we incorporate Six Sigma here, let me start talking about integration of lean and green. As we understand lean manufacturing, basically it is helpful when we adopt few practices for any organization, for whether it is service organization or manufacturing organization. Obviously, it will help us to improve the process. It will help us to reduce the wastages, and the well-defined lean wastes are there in the literature. Also, you may find it. Correct, and then those practices will also help us to improve the overall operations in the organization, so that our performance, operational performance, basically when we talk about lean manufacturing, implementation of lean manufacturing practices, our target is to improve the operational performance. What are the metrics for that? What are the measures? That also we'll be discussing. But here we are not talking about environmental aspect, because it might be the case where when we try to implement few lean practices, it may have adverse impact on the environmental performance of the organization or of the, let us say, a manufacturing plant. So it is necessary to incorporate those practices also, which can balance it out. So we need to have balancing in terms of operational performance improvement as well as environmental performance improvement. But again, both these approaches will help us to identify the suitable practices which can be adopted in day-to-day working or as a strategy to improve the processes, so that operational as well as environmental performance can be improved upon. But the way in which these practices should be implemented, the process of implementation, again, it is not well defined when we talk about lean literature or green literature. So it is there. But I think here Six Sigma can help, because we have well defined approach how to improve the process through Six Sigma. So purpose of integrating all these three is to improve overall performance. And Six Sigma will add on here by providing a methodology for successful implementation of such approaches. And once we improve operational performance, environmental performance, obviously it will take care of some of the aspects of social performance also. And ultimately it will lead to sustainable growth of any organization. So with this background, let me share my presentation with you. And whenever you have any doubt, any query, we can discuss it in between. No problem for that. How many of you are having this background of mechanical engineering, basically industrial engineering? If you can share your views on lean or green manufacturing in chat box, that will help me to explain the things in the better way. Because when I was going through the list of participants, I could find few participants from electronics background or few participants from instrumentation background. I'm curious to know that how they will get benefited. Ji Amarnath ji.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Dr. R. Suresh Premil Kumar, he is having mechanical engineering background. Mohammad Sufyan ji, mechanical engineering. Yes, Suresh ji, आप बताइए what is your background in terms of your research area? I am requesting Dr. R. Suresh. You are not audible, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, I'm not very familiar with the Lean Six Sigma, and in this FTP only, I'm just going through it because I have done my research work in the area of quality circles, and
Okay.
yeah, after that, because I'm purely in the academic side, I don't have that much involvement, and I'm also dealing with the students from UG only for the past 11 years. So this FTP only is giving some more idea about the Six Sigma and how the Lean Sigma works and everything, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, any other participant would like to share their or his or her experience on Lean or Green or Six Sigma approaches or process improvement at large? Dr. Senthil, yes. So your PhD in the area of Lean Green. I think I have referred few publications, Dr. Senthil, if I could remember. Can you unmute yourself?
Great, sir. Yeah, great, sir. Thank you.
Can you name few journals where you had your publication? You are having your publications?
Yeah, International Journal of Services and Operation Management.
Services and Operations Management, yes. I think we had
Yes, sir.
interaction through mail. I'm not sure about, but I think I know you somehow. In my research journey, I had referred few papers of yours also.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
So
sir.
let us begin with today's discussion. Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. So today I will be discussing on integration of improvements approaches for sustainability. Three important, we can say, words are there on this slide.
Sir, sorry for interruption.
Please, please.
Sir, the slides are not in a slideshow. It means they are in PowerPoint only.
No, I can see it is on the full screen. It is
Yeah,
slide form mode only.
But sir, in Meet View to the audience, it is not visible as a slideshow. You can do one thing, sir. You can stop sharing and you can again share it as a.
Yes, let me try it like that.
Yeah. At that time, you use the entire screen option. Entire screen, sir.
Is it okay now?
Sir, screen not visible, sir.
Not visible, sir.
I'm sharing my screen only right now.
Not visible, sir.
So if you select the first option, entire screen means we could see your screen, sir, in full screen.
Entire screen.
That option, there will be three options.
I'm selecting entire screen only. Yes, I'm selecting entire screen only.
And then, sir, press OK button. Something will be there. Yes, sir. Done,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it's coming up, sir.
You can hide that button, sir.
Yeah, sir. Okay.
Is it okay now?
Perfect.
Okay, sir. Okay. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. So in this title, three important words are there. One is integration, second is improvement approaches, and then sustainability. So see, yes, individually we talk about lean manufacturing. Why we need integration of lean and Six Sigma? Because basically the purpose of this FDP is to understand how lean and Six Sigma can be integrated with ultimate goal of process improvement and improvement of the performance. So instead of looking at as an individual approaches, successful integration of lean and Six Sigma will certainly help us to improve the performance in the at the higher level. So that is why this is important. That see, earlier we had lean standalone in any organization, but yes, they do practice few Six Sigma strategies or Six Sigma, say, tools, but they might not be integrating those tools in a same process. So here we are trying to understand how this integration will help any organization and how it will lead to sustainability. So what is sustainability according to you? Because I would like to have this session as a more interactive in nature, because otherwise you will sleep, that I know. Post-lunch sessions are always difficult and I don't want that to happen. तो अगर आप मुझे बता सकते हैं according to you when we say sustainable performance or sustainability, what it means? Because now I can see my screen only, I cannot see your faces. So if you can share your understanding about sustainability, please.
To remain for a long period.
Okay, to remain for longer period. Okay.
To maintain at the same level whatever the improvements that has been made.
Pardon, sir?
To maintain at the same level whatever the improvements that have been made.
Okay.
Incorporated.
Okay. To maintain at that particular level.
Yes, sir.
For a longer period. Okay. Okay. Any other participant? So basically, when we
that
talk
the
about,
resources
yes,
are not depleting, sir.
exactly, sir. Correct. So minimization or optimal utilization of available resources so that it will be available for the next generation. Correct. Natural resources, basically. That is one aspect of sustainability. But when we talk about sustainable manufacturing, we would like to understand, or we would like to ensure that our manufacturing processes are designed in such a manner that it will help us to improve operational, environmental, that is economical, environmental, and social performance. All three aspects are integrated together. And that is also known as triple bottom line approach, where we integrate or where we consider all these three important parameters: economical performance, environmental performance, as well as social performance. And that is why we need integration. Right? Why we need to talk about integrating few approaches together? Because each will have its own limitations. Like say when we talk about lean manufacturing, you have studied lean manufacturing in this FPP, where we can use some approaches like practices like Kanban, correct? Or just in time. So here in just in time, what we do, we try to minimize the inventory level in the system. Basically, ideally, we would like to have zero inventory in our system. But when we try to reduce the inventory level, obviously, we try to ensure that we do not have large inventory in our system, and whenever the raw material is required, we make sure that it is available at the supplier end, and we ask our supplier to supply it immediately. So they also manage it just in time. But in that case, that will increase the transportation in between the organization and the supplier. That might be having adverse impact on the environment. So they do not complement always each other. But if we integrate them successfully, yes, they can help us to improve the overall performance. And that is why integration is important. So need for integrated strategies. We are in the era of global competition. We are not selling our products in local market now. World as a market. Correct? And yes, as I said, sustainability means producing something which is economical. So demand for products with lower cost. So we try to ensure that we meet the customer's requirement at the lowest possible cost. Otherwise, we will not remain in the market for long. At the same time, we must ensure the higher quality of the product, and we must provide variety. It is an era where we must ensure that mass customization. Okay, so customized product, but we do not want to customize the individual product for individual customer. But yes, we need to have enough variety of the product so that customer will have an opportunity to select product as per their wish, as per their requirement. We want quicker delivery. At the same time, all these three aspects, when we talk about cost, quality, variety, delivery, we are talking about operational aspect. So here, to ensure all these three, we need to improve our operational performance. But at the same time, we need to comply with environmental standards also, whether they are local environmental standards, where you have your manufacturing facility, where you have your plant, at the same time where you have your market, where you are selling your product, global environmental standard. Your products should ensure that they meet these environmental norms. Correct. So yes, our processes should ensure that we have good operational performance, or at the same time we are also maintaining the processes in such a manner that it will not have adverse impact on the environment. So need for performing manufacturing operations with effective as well as efficient utilization of available resources. Somebody has said that resources must be utilized in such a manner that they are available for the next generation. Correct. So we must ensure that. So effective as well as efficient utilization. Efficient utilization means whatever you are producing, how much input resources you should use, how much input resources you should process through your system. Can we reduce it further? Can we improve the process efficiency so that the useful outcome is more in comparison to your scrap or unuseful output? effective utilization as well as efficient utilization of the resources. Both the things are very important. Effective means whatever we are planning to produce, the same what quality or same product we are producing, that is effective utilization of the resources. And efficient means how we can improve the efficiency, overall efficiency of the system. And to ensure these two, operational aspect as well as environmental aspect, what is important? Selection of appropriate set of tools and techniques. Now, when we talk about lean manufacturing, you have list of tools and techniques available. It may be 5S, or it can be Kaizen, or it can be Kanban, or it can be value stream mapping, and lot many. Correct. But are all these practices are good enough, or are required in our plant, are going to help us to improve operational performance? Are we able to incorporate all these practices in our manufacturing facility? So that is why what is important is selection of appropriate set of tools. What is my competitive dimension I am looking at? Am I looking at producing something at the lower cost? Because my competitors are there and they're producing the same product at the lower cost. So now I would like to improve my process so that I can produce it at the lower cost. Or I am targeting quality, or I am targeting delivery performance. So that these competitive dimensions I'm looking for, and that will help me to identify the appropriate set of tools. It is not possible for me to incorporate all the tools. There are large number of tools and techniques available. And now see, we cannot differentiate कि ये भाई lean की है और ये green की है. They are merging together. Okay. So this will help us. This will help the organization to improve the overall business performance. When I say overall business performance, it is in terms of market performance, operational performance, economic or financial performance, and yes, environmental performance. That will lead to sustainable organization or sustainable improvement of the processes. You have studied lean manufacturing in great detail, that I understand, with this FTP list of topics which were there in the brochure. But purpose of lean manufacturing is to integrate and shortening the timeline between the supplier and customer. Correct. And ultimately, how we can reduce that timeline between supplier and customer is between supplier and supplier will provide raw material, customer will produce will purchase the products. What is there in between? In between, we have a complete supply chain where we are manufacturing something, where we are distributing something, where we have retailers available for our product. So we would like to reduce this timeline. We will try to shorten this timeline so that whenever customer demands something, we are able to meet that customer requirement with shortest possible time. Otherwise, there are competitors in the market and customer will not wait for our product. And that is why this lean ways are well defined in the literature. Teamwork, that is the phrase generally we use. Can anybody help me to understand all these alphabets? TIMWOOD, Teamwork. Mandar can help. Yes, I know Mandar.
Yes, sir. Transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocess, and defects. And one more, as you have said, that is unutilized human resource.
Great. So 8th one is also added. Now you have a list of well-defined lean ways in the system, and we would like to track those hidden ways, and we would like to eliminate, or at least we would like to minimize if we cannot eliminate. Generally, what lean manufacturing suggests? Lean manufacturing suggests that any activity you perform can be classified in 3 categories. One is the activities which are required and absolutely necessary to move the product from one stage to another stage. Second, non-value adding activity. When I say activities which are very much required, that means they are value adding activity. They are adding value when we move the product from one stage to another stage. Value adding activity. Second category, non-value adding activity. And third, non-value adding but necessary. Correct. So first thing, when we try to implement lean manufacturing, we need to identify those activities, and that is why generally we say something like value stream mapping. We we identify those activities, what is happening, how we are moving our product from customer end to, from supplier end to customer end. We would like to identify those activities, and those activities are required to be classified in these basically 3 categories: value adding, non-value adding, and non-value adding but necessary. What can be done now? Once this set of activities are identified, those activities which are not adding any value should be eliminated, should be removed. Second, the activities which are non-value adding but necessary, can we minimize, can we improve upon that? If it is possible, that will help us to improve the process. So this is lean manufacturing at large. I am not going to talk in great detail about lean manufacturing today, because here I would like to discuss how we integrate and how this integration can be helpful to organization. Correct, and I'll be discussing one of my papers on here. Green manufacturing, we find many words for green manufacturing. It is whether clean or environmentally conscious or environmentally winning or responsible manufacturing, sustainable manufacturing. But it is basically economically driven, system-wide, not local. We cannot apply lean manufacturing for this particular plant, part of the plant, and not for entire plant. We need holistic implementation. And that is why we say system-wise. We need to improve it as a system, not as individual parts, not segments. Correct. System-wide integrated approach to reduce and eliminate all the waste streams associated with design, manufacturing, use or disposal of products and materials. So it starts from designing to end of life of any product. Correct. It starts from designing. So which material you will be selecting, whether this material is good for human, whether it is a radius material. What about the disposal of this product at the end of its life? E-waste, it is a major issue right now. So we would like to ensure that such approaches like green manufacturing, green design, sustainable design of the product. It starts from designing stage, then selection of appropriate manufacturing processes, and then ensuring that disposal of such material, such products are not harming the environment at the end. That is green manufacturing. Integration or coordination of lean and environmental practices ensure the benefits of all categories, operational as well as environmental. Cost reduction, lead time reduction, because it will help to improve the process so that delivery is faster, movement is faster, lead time reduction, process flow improvement, quality in terms of environmental quality, and employee morale and commitment. And that is your social aspect. That is your social aspect. And that is why we talk about sustainability. Integration of such approaches which lead to operational improvement, environmental improvement, and obviously it will help to improve the employee morale, commitment, health, everything. Because when we use the raw material in such a manner that they are not harming the environment, obviously it will be good for employees or the worker who is working on the particular equipment or machine. So ultimately it will lead to social aspect. It will lead to social performance improvement also. And yes, these three, when they are combined together, we generally talk about sustainability. This is a good observation I could find. And that is why this table is included here for discussion. See, this team wood we all know now, but how it is affecting the environment, that is also important. See, if we try to reduce or eliminate transportation waste, obviously it will have impact on the environmental, whether it is positive or negative. If we reduce the transportation waste, if we reduce the movement of the vehicle between customer to plant or plant to raw material supplier, obviously it will reduce the excess energy utilization. So it will reduce the energy utilization. It will reduce the air emission. Correct. Hazard waste, solid waste, scrap hota hai. Obviously, when we move something, obviously everything is not at the end will be usable. So the scrap generate hota hai, wo bhi reduce hota hai. So as we have a list of clean waste, obviously it will have its impact on the environmental performance also. So any effort to help reduction in the lean waste will also have positive impact on the environmental performance also, and vice versa. So when we talk about environmental performance improvement, implementation of green practices, it will also help to improve the operational performance also. Like we can have a similar chart where green waste can have an impact on the operational performance also. And that is why we generally say that lean and green both are complementing each other. But how better we integrate them, that is the challenge. That is the issue which I would like to discuss today. So what I did in one of my research problem, I tried to identify few set of lean practices. Set of lean practices from literature, which are largely accepted, which are largely implemented by manufacturing organizations, manufacturing SMEs. Basically, my target audience or target was SME performance, because SMEs are contributing large in Indian economy in terms of employment and anything. So, I have identified set of lean practices first, which are largely practiced in manufacturing organization, SMEs basically, and this is the list I could generate. I'm not saying these are the only lean practices, but largely these are the practices which are accepted and implemented by manufacturing SMEs. And then I could also find a list where green practices are being identified. See, if you look at these two, you can understand that lean is largely implemented in India. The implementation, because the government is also supporting implementation of lean in Indian SMEs through various schemes. Correct? For green, still the things are moving, but not at that pace. But yes, we could have green practices like environmental management system, EMS. Many organizations are now implementing EMS because of this strict environmental regulations. Life cycle assessment, design for environment. Correct. 3R generally, you may find this word everywhere. Now it is 6R. We should not restrict to 3R only. But when I was working on my research problem, this is the well accepted practice, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle. 3R supply chain practices, green supply chain practices, because how we move product from manufacturing end to customer end. Use of natural resources, certification like ISO 14001, raw material which are environmental friendly, so that will go to again design stage, and use of alternative or alternate source of energy like solar, wind, geothermal, and many more. So these are the green practices I could identify, but you can see that green practices are limited in terms of their implementation in Indian SMEs. So for any organization, one of the most important and crucial strategic decisions is to achieve high competitiveness. What are your competitive dimensions? How you would like to win your market? You could have cost as one of your competitive dimensions, quality, performance in terms of delivery performance. Your market share improvement will also help us how you are branding your product, how you are branding your organization at large. So, yes, if you are environmentally sustainable, if your products are environmentally, we can say, acceptable, yes, it will help you to improve your brand and ultimately market share. Customer satisfaction. Now, customers are also looking for products which are environmentally friendly. And that is where we need to understand selection of appropriate set of tools and techniques, which will help us to get higher level of performance. Here I have used a common tool that is known as AHP. How many of you are aware about AHP? This is a kind of multi-criteria decision-making tool, MCDM tool. That is analytic hierarchy process, AHP. And I've used this tool with two questions in the mind. One is, what is the impact of these strategies, lean and green, and their practices, selected practices, on various performance measures? So we need to identify what are the performance measures, which could be operational performance, environmental performance. And then how to select a set of tools. मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि see, we cannot implement everything together, but as per my competitive dimension, as per my organization's way of winning the market, I would like to identify set of tools. And this is very dynamic in nature. Today I'm competing the market, or I'm winning the market with cost, but tomorrow it may not be the case. I need to change my strategy. I would like to improve my product quality. Correct? So which set of practices I should adopt so that I can meet this market requirement, business requirement, because these challenges are dynamic in nature. Correct? So these two basic questions I was trying to answer through application of analytical hierarchy process. And आप बताइए, when I say AHP, what it means and how it can be implemented. किसी ने यूज किया है AHP, ANP or any other multi-criteria decision making tool? You can share your experience. Yes. Whether we had any session on MCDM, Shruti, Professor Shruti?
Yes, sir.
MCDM पे कोई सेशन था यहाँ पे आज या आगे के किसी?
नहीं सर.
अच्छा, ठीक है. So AHP generally basically it is multi-criteria decision making tool, managerial decision making में help करता है हमको. It decomposes the complex problem. When I say complex problem, because see, decision making is not an easy task. It is a complex task where we need to incorporate the views and understanding and experience of various decision makers. And that will have where AHP can help us first to divide the problem or to simplify the problem through a structure, hierarchy, a structure. And then we identify what are the alternatives, what are the criteria. Criteria might be having sub-criteria also. A simple case I can discuss with you before I go with my problem. Let us say today I would like to purchase a car and I have X, Y, Z brand available. Which is to be selected? For me, because I am the decision maker, I do have a set of criteria. If I car, it should have fuel efficient in terms of fuel consumption. It should have lowest cost in terms of say maintenance cost. Right? Safety is another aspect. So now for these three criteria will help me to select the correct car for me. Now what is the weightage? Are they equally weighted? If I say the total weight for these three criteria is 1, cost 0.33, safety 0.33, and maintenance cost 0.33, is it like that? Or for me, cost is having highest weightage. It is the prime factor for me to select a car. Then it will have a weight like 0.6 or 0.7. So that is how I can structure a problem in terms of a hierarchy, where I have goal or objective, then my criteria, sub-criteria might be there, and then set of alternatives. And it will help us to accommodate both subjective and objective judgments of respondents. Respondents are nothing but they are set of experts. They are panel members. They might be your decision makers. Correct. And then it will help us to identify the correct alternative or rank, at least not if identifying the correct alternative, rank those alternatives. Okay, first, as per this group discussion, as per this group view, these are the ranks. These are the steps. As I discussed, you have your objective, then you have your structure in terms of your criteria, sub-criteria, and alternatives. Then we can compare something like pairwise comparison कि भाई cost important ज़्यादा है या आपका safety important ज़्यादा है, दोनों में से कौन सा alternative कहाँ पे suit होता है. That is known as pairwise comparison within the criteria, between the criteria, and between alternative and criteria. So that is how we generally collect the information, collect the data from panel of experts. We try to ensure that whatever the data collection we have, now they are consistent enough. Consistency means it may not have variation at large. Otherwise, if for a panel of experts, one person's understanding of a problem is largely different than another person's understanding, it may not be good for the final outcome of the process. So we perform consistency test, and then we estimate the relative weightage at each level: alternative, sub criteria, and then the highest level. So this is what I have prepared for the given problem, where I would like to identify, मैंने पहले ही आपको goal बताया था, to analyze the operational performance determinants and practices. So what are my criteria here in this case? That I should have improvement as far as cost is concerned. So I would like to produce something at the lowest possible cost. Correct? I'm talking about operational performance, lean manufacturing, quality improvement, cycle time reduction, and all time or delivery performance improvement. So these are my criteria. I would like to compete in the market with these 4 operational criteria, operational performances. Correct. And I have set of practices also. Purpose of this analysis is to identify which practice or which lean practice will help me to meet my requirement in terms of cost, quality, cycle time, and delivery. Do not consider these numbers right now, which are appearing on the slide right now. These are the numbers which are obtained at the end of this AHP process. Correct. So right now, initially I had the structure only, that I have to analyze this lean performance determinants and practices. Then I'm having 4 criteria, and these are the alternatives in terms of set of practices available to me. I would like to identify which practice will have highest influence on operational performance improvement. Similar to that, I have also prepared a structure for green manufacturing practices. And these are the criteria: water, wastewater reduction, solid waste reduction, reduced emission, and reduced emission, and REC belongs to reduced electricity consumption. Yeah. So here, these are the 4 criteria on which I would like to select the appropriate set of green practices. But right now, I'm analyzing both the things individually. Please understand, I'm not integrating the things. Purpose of this discussion is to integrate, how they complement each other to improve our business performance. Right now, what I'm analyzing is set of practices for lean manufacturing, set of practices of green manufacturing. But when I develop this structure, where I purpose is to improve the overall performance in terms of business performance and environmental performance. See, look at the alternatives available at the end: green and lean. And now these are the criteria, these are the performance measures, we can say, because I'm not talking about operational only or environmental only. I'm talking about overall performance improvement, where I have quality, cost and productivity, lead time. So I've integrated everything together now. Product design, profitability, brand, yes, very important, market position and customer satisfaction. And how this set of these 2 paradigms, lean and green, will help to improve the overall performance. What is their impact on this performance criteria and sub-criteria? That was the next stage of analysis. So individually, I had analyzed lean, individually I had analyzed green, and at the end, I have tried to integrate both the things together, both the paradigms together. Yes, any query, any doubt?
No, sir.
बाकी सब लोग, I hope.
Sir, I'm reading from the chat box only.
मैं चाय का एक घूंट भी लेता हूँ साथ में, आप भी ले सकते हैं, पार्टिसिपेंट्स जो हैं. Yes, so let us move ahead. चलिए इसको छोड़ देते हैं अभी. Yes, so how we apply AHP here? We perform pairwise comparison with a scale which is well defined in the literature. Correct. If I am comparing 2 criteria like cost and quality, and if they, according to me, they are equally important to improve the operational performance, the weight intensity is 1. two activities contribute equally to the objective. Because I'm comparing cost and quality, if one or cost is moderately important to quality in terms of operational performance improvement, my weight for cost would be 3 and for quality it would be 1/3. That is how generally we prepare the matrix. So how we compare the criteria first, and the first matrix generally we develop that is known as C2C matrix, criteria to criteria, cost-wise comparison, pair-wise comparison matrix. Here you can see that on first row you have cost, quality, cycle time, on-time delivery, 4 criteria which we had selected for this analysis. In column also we have all these 4 criteria. That is why we are comparing each criteria. That is why when we are comparing cost to cost, obviously it is equal. So it is 1. But when I am comparing cost to quality or cost to cycle time or cost to delivery in terms of how influence of cost in comparison to quality to improve the environmental performance, it is 0.359 or 0.441 or 0.16. And that is why see it is inverse, exactly inverse to, if it is cost to quality it is 0.359. In column you can find quality to cost it is coming 0.359. It is 1 by 0.359. Okay. And how you are getting 0.359? Because we have 11 experts for this analysis. They had their own views. They have prepared their own metrics like this, and I had taken the mean of a geometric mean for all these 11 participants. And based on their analysis, their understanding of problem, this matrix was developed. It is further normalized. Normalization will help us to ensure that now they are in the same category. Now you can add through column or row, will get 1. Right? So that is why column wise they are normalized. Total would be 1. So now they are comparable to each other. And then further it is analyzed with some procedural aspect of the analytical hierarchy process, where we generally ensure that they are consistent enough through consistency ratio calculation. This is again, this table is available in the literature, that is well defined in literature by Sathe only. And then we can ensure that yes, for this set of criteria, for these 4 criteria, this is the minimum CR value we should have, and it is within the control limit. Then we further analyze it, and this is the final table. See, the procedure is one part. Okay? The understanding of the result is also important. So now if you look at this table, we can understand what we can read from this or what we can interpret from here is that we had set of practices in terms of 5S, Kaizen, single minute exchange of right, that is SMPD, visual control, value stream mapping, cellular layout, total productive maintenance, and Kanban. These are the set of practices or alternatives at the lowest level we had. We had 4 criteria: cost, quality, time, and delivery. And now if you look at the weight of cost to improve overall performance of operational performance, it is 0.086. If you add everything together, it will come to 1. That means it is only about 8.6% in comparison to quality, which is contributing about 28%. Correct. Then 20% for on-time lead time, and then it is about 42.6% for delivery performance. So when you would like to improve your, for Indian SMEs I am talking about, because my sample was Indian SMEs. If you want to improve your operational performance, obviously you should target that you meet the next because you are producing not for yourself. Please understand, SMEs are generally not they are not producing for themselves. They are not selling their product directly in the market. They are the lower tier suppliers, so they supply the products to next processing unit for further processing. Correct. And that is where delivery performance, how faster you are delivering, how you are committed to your delivery timing schedule, it is most important. And that is where we say that as far as Indian SMEs are concerned, the highest performance should be in terms of delivery. is about 40, its weight is about 42.6% to improve overall operational performance. And now if you look at the alternatives available, that will also help you to understand that how we can improve the कितना contribution है इन practices का delivery performance improvement के लिए या quality performance improvement के लिए cost के लिए. So that individually also we can understand. And when the final column, if you can see global priority score, वो क्या दिखाता है? If I compare this practices among the practices only, how they are ranked, how they are weighted. Okay, so देखिए आप, if you look at the final table, you can see that highest weightage is given to total productive maintenance. आप maintenance system आपके organization में अच्छी है, ultimately it will lead to lowest cost, better quality, better lead time performance as well as delivery performance. तो ये एक visualize कर सकता है. It will help you to understand which practices or set of practices are important for me to improve my overall performance. How they will be contributing to improve overall operational performance of the organization. कोई डाउट यहाँ पे तो बता दो प्लीज. Any doubt? Any query? Any suggestion?
No, sir. No, sir. I am reading from the chat box, sir. No, sir.
Okay, okay. Because that is not visible to me.
Yeah, sir. That's why.
Okay, fine. So here, this is a table available, global priority scores for lean practices. Similar analysis we perform for green manufacturing practices, also that second structure which we had developed. And you can look at this now. The values available for all 4 criteria: wastewater reduction, solid waste reduction, reduced emission, and reduced energy consumption. And if you look at this, reduced emission RE having the highest contribution, 36.5%, to improve environmental performance of the organization or of your manufacturing system at large, you can say. Likewise, within the each criteria, you can find the weight of practices, EMS, that is environmental management system, or life cycle assessment, or design for an environment, and all other practices. So how they are contributing to improve this set of say your performance criteria, and overall how they are performing, or how they are contributing to improve the overall performance, environmental performance. So if you look at again the final column, global priority score here, what you can read that certification like ISO 14001 having the highest weightage, 26.2% contribution. Okay. So any organization having certification will have the holistic system available, implementation is there, and that will lead to better environmental performance. Correct. And this is a similar table where I had analyzed the third structure, where I have integrated lean and green, both the paradigms together. And very nice readings are available here. You can look at this now. Criteria are there, and 2 performances I had considered to look at the overall improvement in the performance, business performance and environmental performance. So for any organization looking at improving the overall performance, market performance, what is the contribution of business performance improvement? It is about 47%. Environmental performance, what? So आपको क्या करना है? As an organization, as an SME, I should look at the improving business performance and then environmental performance. I'm not saying that you neglect environmental performance, but yes, contribution of business performance is small in comparison to environmental performance if I'm looking at improving overall performance of my SME. And then these are the criteria and a better understanding. I was talking about integrating lean and green. Look at this. Lean and green, if you can look at here, this is lean manufacturing. What is its contribution? It is about 50%. Look at this, 49%. Green is also contributing equally. Goal is to improve overall performance. So that is where we can claim that now only lean or only green may not suffice, may not help you. But yes, when you try to integrate both, successful integration will lead to overall performance improvement because both are contributing equally at par. about 50%. तो आप लीन को भी ले लीजिए, ग्रीन की भी सिलेक्टेड। अब क्वेरी यही है कि भाई कौन सी प्रैक्टिसेस सिलेक्ट करें। We have large number of practices in lean, we have large number of practices in green manufacturing basket. Which set of practices we should select? Correct. Which set of practices? मैंने पहले ही बताया कि the nature is dynamic. Market की बात करें तो it is dynamic in nature. Today we are working on a set of practices where I'm trying to reduce the cost of the product. But tomorrow, cost is not the criteria for customer. It may change. And now customers are looking for better quality product. Should I continue with the same set of practices, or I should try to incorporate few more practices which will also help me to improve the product quality also? To look to understand this. And another important thing which I would like to discuss here. See, all this information, all this data, entire analysis is based on the views and opinions and responses received from a panel of experts. Correct? Tomorrow, if I want to conduct such analysis, I'll have a set of experts. I'll discuss with them what this is my problem, and this is the kind of responses I'm willing to have from your end, and they will provide me the necessary information based on their experience, based on their understanding. Tomorrow, if I'll have another panel, I would like to know क्या यही results मिलेंगे मुझे? It might change a bit in terms of these numbers. यहाँ पे लीन के नीचे आप देख रहे हो 0.727, it may become 0.692. Fine, but if I look at the ranking, if I look at this contribution of lean and green, it may be 47 and 53. It's fine, but it may not be 20 and 80. So that is known as sensitivity of your existing results, which is available based on this current analysis. If I change this panel of experts, whether my conclusion will change or it will remain same at large. तो वो कोई भी MCDM tool आप use करिए, whether it is AHP, ANP, or SO, or TOPSIS, or any other, you must ensure that you perform sensitivity analysis to ensure the robustness of your results. And that is what I did. And if you look at this scenario analysis here, you can see that generally, let me explain generally how we perform sensitivity analysis here. This against cost you find 8.6%. It is nothing but my original result. Let me go back to this slide. Cost, how much it is contributing? 8.6%. Right? A baseline scenario. The results which are available with this set of experts, panel of experts. तो ये मेरे results हैं. These are the weightages. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि highest weightage is for TPM 21%. Now, what can I do? I can increase with the software available to me. What can I do? I can increase the weight of cost. I can increase or reduce the weight of quality. And with this variation, how it is affecting this weightage, how much sensitive my results are with this variation, with these changes. And that is known as sensitivity analysis. That is what I had performed by changing the results of this weightage of this criteria and how it is affecting my alternative weight. And if you look at, you can see that variation in the weight of alternatives was less than 1% on either side. Now I can conclude that yes, my results are robust enough. My conclusions are good enough. Because though I'm largely changing the weight of criteria, it is not affecting the weight of alternatives at large. It is less than 1%. So my results are robust enough. Similar I did for analysis I did for green manufacturing paradigm also. And I can see that yes, variations are very, very within the control limit. But is it enough? The thing which I did here is I've used this sensitivity analysis tool to extend this analysis in dynamic analysis in terms of various challenges faced by SMEs. Challenges क्या होती है? Cost reduction is one of the challenges, quality improvement is another challenge, and there are a set of challenges. मैंने पहले ही बताया कि if I have a set of tools available today which I am practicing today, which I have implemented successfully today for cost reduction, may not be good enough when I am talking about quality improvement. When I am talking about quality improvement, क्या कर सकते हैं? How I can select the appropriate set of tools. तो इसीलिए मैंने उसको सिनारियो एनालिसिस में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. What I have done, I have increased the weight of the cost to 80%. Criteria, cost criteria को 80% तक मैं improve करके ले गया. Now, which practice is highly impacting that cost criteria? So now you can see that when I'm improving cost to 80%, which is the practice affecting highest? When I'm talking about quality, which practice is leading? When I'm improving the time performance or lead time performance, which practice is leading? Delivery performance, which practice is leading? And that is where I could develop a framework like this. Just to explain you, when I'm talking about cost reduction, that is the challenge. Which three practices I have selected? TPM, you can see this red color arrow. TPM, Kaizen, and 5S. ये कहाँ से आया? तो ये यहाँ से आया. कॉस्ट की जब बात करें, टॉप 3 प्रैक्टिसेस कौन सी है? ये और ये 3 प्रैक्टिसेस. If I try to implement successfully, obviously it will help me to perform better where I'm trying to deal with the challenge of cost reduction. But if it is a quality improvement, which set of practices I should have within my system? For cycle time reduction, for delivery performance, for reduced emission, ultimately, this framework can help you to select appropriate set of practices in terms of operational performance improvement and environmental performance improvement from the bundle of lean and green practices. So this was my analysis at the end, and I could publish this analysis, this paper in Journal of Cleaner Production. Long back, it is in year 2016. The important aspect here is, because we had used a simple process like AHP here, analytical hierarchy process is not popular at that time. Popular in terms of the publication with AHP is difficult. It was difficult at that time because AHP is not considered to be a tool which can help you to publish in a good peer-reviewed international high-ranked journal. But yes, with this extension of analysis, not limited to only sensitivity analysis, which is further extended to scenario analysis, basically various scenarios in terms of challenges to SMEs. That has helped me to publish this paper in Journal of Cleaner Production. Yes, so now, yes, we had a story of integrating lean and green. Why Six Sigma? So it is now very much clear that lean is valued for its ability to identify the waste and alone does not measure the environmental impact. जो मैंने आपको बताया. Yes, it will have its impact on environmental performance. Yes, but lean practices or lean paradigm is not targeting the environmental performance. The basic idea behind lean implementation of lean practices implementation is to improve operational performance. It may have adverse impact on the environmental performance. When we talk about lean and green together, now we can understand that they complement each other and they can help you to improve the overall set of performances. But the problem here is they do not provide actual method or technique to reduce the waste. Process improvement की जब बात करते हैं तो Six Sigma यहाँ पे काम लगता है. And that is where Six Sigma has the potential to fill this gap by providing a methodology for process improvement. Basically, Six Sigma is for process improvement. Yes, we have set of practices, identified set of practices from lean basket and from clean basket. But now how to implement, successfully implement, what is the methodology of improving the performance, process improvement, and that is being offered by well-defined, structured set of, we can say, guidelines or roadmap available with Six Sigma literature. That is why integration of lean, green, and Six Sigma can help us which will lead to sustainability, environment, economic, social, Integrating all these three together, we'll have sustainable organization. So each paradigm has a potential to minimize the disadvantage of either. They complement each other. जहाँ पे वो gap है, another paradigm will help us to fill that gap. And again, this I could publish in this recent publication, 2021 publication, that is in TQM journal, where I have analyzed the challenges faced by Indian manufacturing organizations and industries in integrating all these three aspects, Lean, Green, and Six Sigma. And I have analyzed using a very famous tool that is known as ISM, Interpretive Structural Modeling. And I have provided one implementation framework. The work was done with one of my PhD scholar, Jerivesh, and it was well supported by my mentor, we can say, my friend, my guru, my mentor, Dr. Thakkar from IIT Kharagpur. Now he is at NIT Vadodara. Yes, any query, any doubt? Because from my side, whatever the discussion I had today, that was about integrating three philosophies, three paradigms, Lean, Green, and Six Sigma, with some good example in terms of how we can integrate, how it will impact the overall performance of the organization. तो यहाँ तक sustainability की बात यहाँ तक करता हूँ. After this, what I would like to discuss, if you permit and if you are interested in, few good suggestions from my side based on my experience, how we can publish in a good journal. Yes, we perform analysis, we perform we collect good many information from literature, we do some analysis, but ultimate goal is not to keep it with us. For me, the philosophy is the work done, research conducted, but not published, that is equal to no research. So आपके पास ही रहता है. So if you are interested, if you want to have few inputs from based on my experience, I can share.
Sir, we are having one request in the chat box. Is it possible to share your article or published paper with us?
These two articles.
Yes, sir.
See, basically, it is not allowed ethically. But I'll try. So I'll try it, and if possible, I'll share it with you, Professor Stuti, and then you can forward it to your participants.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, so should I continue with this in terms
Yes.
of publishing papers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the purpose of now this discussion is some tips, some inputs from my side on high impact papers. Do you know what is impact factor? How it is being calculated? आप में से कोई बता सकता है? If you good researchers are there in the panel, in the set of in the participants. So how we consider this good journal, or how we calculate impact factor? What is the difference between impact factor and edge, index, and what not now? Yes. I'm also serving as a reviewer to good number of journals like Journal of Cleaner Production or IJPPM or JMTM, many other journals, Production and Industrial Engineering from Taylor and Francis. And what we are looking as a reviewer, what I'm looking for, I'm looking for novelty first. That whatever the content is there in your manuscript, which is being submitted by author, is it for publication in terms of novelty, that the contribution is original, or it is marginal extension of others' ideas. Others' ideas means आपने literature पढ़ लिया, एक ने AHP apply कर दिया, ANP apply कर लीजिए, बाकी की चीज वही है. Then the difficulties in this publication is that there is, yes, extension is there, but results are not unique. contribution is not something which is substantial in terms of originality. Correct. So for high impact paper, yeah, you can publish it in there are multiple outlets available. Now, if I want to publish a paper, outlets are many. Generally, that is the philosophy generally I work with. I target a journal which is of high impact sector, like 7 or 8. And I prepare a paper for that journal only. First, I submit to that journal. If it is rejected, I submit to. Generally, I prepare a list of 5 to 6 journals, right, with some ranking, and then I develop the paper with target of very first journal, topmost journal, and it may happen that I will be able to publish it in the very last journal in my list, 6 or 7. It happens. It is a iterative process because each journal will have its own criteria, scope of publication, and it is again dynamic in nature. So you cannot claim that ये paper उसमें पहले तो publish हुआ था, अभी similar paper है क्यों publish नहीं हो? Because now they are not looking at such kind of category of paper. They are looking at more of say theory contribution. Now you are providing them novelty in terms of methodological aspect. They may not accept it. Earlier they were accepting. Today they are not looking at the methodological contribution. They are looking at theory contribution. So they may not accept it. It happens. But yes, important thing is novelty. What is novelty in your publication? Sorry, your manuscript, your research. Correct. Non-trivial is trivial. क्या एक्सप्लोर करते हो? कुछ छोटी सी चीज को एक्सप्लोर करते हो या यू आर लुकिंग एट द लार्जर पिक्चर? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. How broad your scientific approach? See, basically, if you are looking, and that is where we talk about generalization of your results. If your work is limited to say, जैसे मैंने आपके say I was talking about one paper which is published in Journal of Peanut Production. It was basically a set of practices identified from SMEs, manufacturing SMEs. But now within manufacturing SMEs, if I'm only talking about say foundries or say textile SMEs or say dyes or chemical factories, then it may not get published because the generalization of the result may not be possible in that case. So how broad your scientific appeal in terms of your results, your conclusion, your implications. That is also important. Possible interdisciplinary relevance is very important. Nowadays it is becoming more important. जैसे हम integrate करते हैं Lean, Green और Six Sigma, ऐसे ही integrate करना जरूरी है. How your work is impacting the other discipline, like from industrial engineering, how it will help you to improve, let us say Lean and Green, how it is implement, how it is good for service industry. Basically, we talk about manufacturing industry, but not necessarily it is limited to manufacturing organizations. Correct. So if you can contribute in terms of implementation of such strategies or practices in service organization, great contribution. Another thing, and this is my experience, a high impact paper is written by bringing in literal thoughts from other disciplines, introducing new concepts in a field by taking lessons from other fields is hallmark of making significant contribution in the field. Just to share my story, I had tried to incorporate one methodology which is known as pinch analysis. So thermal engineering में ज़्यादा use होती है. Basically, it is being used in designing of this what we can say heat exchanger network. Correct? In large industry, they do have heat exchangers. And so how they can efficiently design that network, and that is where they use a term, a method that is known as pinch analysis. What I did, because ultimately it will be the way it will analyze the system in such a manner that it will have lowest waste in terms of heat. Heat is the energy. कितना एनर्जी आप यूटिलाइज कर सकते हो, तो वेस्टेज जा रहा है उसमें से कितना हीट एक्सचेंजर्स के थ्रू उसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते हो. तो लीन also we are trying to reduce the waste. Here also the purpose of pinch analysis was to identify the location, exact location where we can extract more heat, available heat. So I have used that concept and I have developed a paper based on lean manufacturing. and that is known as value load diagram. Generally, they develop something like quality diagram, something like that. So I have used that understanding of my pinch analysis into implementation of lean and green practices, and I have proposed one methodology which can help you to reduce the wastage or improve the efficiency of the system. And that paper was submitted to Production Planning and Control Journal, PNF. Initially, I had received a mail from editor that it will go to review, and then I had revised that paper 7 times, so it was accepted at R7 stage. Those who are submitting the papers, they must be knowing when I say R7 what it means. It is revised 7 times. It went through that reviewing process 7 times. But I could publish it in the same journal, which is very high impact journal, which is very renowned journal in the field of industrial engineering, production planning and control. So what was the novelty in that? I have used the concept from other discipline into this. Basically, it is either thermal engineering or chemical engineering discipline into industrial engineering. Generalization of the outcome. Very important. With this explanation, what can I say that? Sorry, 1 minute. Yes, once the paper is complete from your side, when I say paper is complete, you have prepared your manuscript, it is available to you now. Submit it to an appropriate journal, which is your target journal. Correct? There is no universal style of formatting. Expert second charge. And every journal will have its own formatting style. आप home page पे जाके देख सकते हैं, and you must follow it. You must adapt to that. Yes, copy the style of that particular journal requirement is nothing. It is not wrong at all. The process is like this. The journal editor will make the initial check, and if they find that yes, it is in line with the scope or the focus of that particular journal, it will go for review. Otherwise, it will get rejected from the desk of editor only. And nowadays, what is happening? 95% of papers are being rejected by editor only. It will not go to the next stage, that is review. Okay. If you are fortunate enough, it will go to review, and if review is completed, there are 3 possibilities: largely, reject, revise, and accept. And again, revision, you can have major revision, you can have minor revision. Okay. It is great if it is accepted. A baby is now born. You have your paper after a few months, it will be there online available. In review process, मैंने अभी आपको बताया originality and contribution, how it is contributing to the scientific world, and what is original, what is in terms of novelty. इसको मैं ज़्यादा read नहीं करूँगा. Relationship to existing literature in terms of how we are quoting, how we are establishing the need for this spot. What is your problem statement? How you are defining the gap, that this is the gap which I would like to fill with this research. Correct. So for that, yes, you need to go through literature and previous work. Important thing, which methodology, which approach you will be utilizing to process your data, whatever the data, whether you perform experiment, whether you go for survey, whatever. And yes, justification for your methodology and approach is very important. Most of the time we select the methodology once data collection is being done. कि भाई अभी इस data के साथ कौन सी methodology ठीक रहेगी? That is not the correct practice. Correct practice is to collect the data based on the methodology which you would like to use for the given problem. Correct. So selection and justification of methodology or approach is also important. How you are concluding, your conclusion should answer those questions which were raised earlier at the introduction section or problem definitions stage. implications, very important. It might be, as an industrial engineer, I can say, we should have implications for practitioners, implications for managers, decision makers, correct? Implications for academicians, so that you can expand this or you can extend this existing work. Future scope क्या है इसका, वो भी आपको explain करना होता है. And quality of communication, very important. So here I end my session. It is about 4. It will take 2-3 minutes more, but now I will not speak anything. Yes, if you have any doubt, any query, any suggestion, yes, I am here to, are open for discussion. Please. Yes.
Is there any questions? Yes. Is there any questions from the participation? I think, sir, there is no any question.
That means I have explained the things very nice. ये अच्छी बात है. That means जो मैं 20 साल से पढ़ा रहा हूँ, अच्छा ही पढ़ा रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am the best example of that.
So let me end my presentation with these 5, 6, 7 slides. So here I will not speak anything. The slide will tell the story.
Sir,
Yes.
we are having one question.
Please.
Give some idea for writing review paper for the beginners.
Okay. The first thing, beginners should not write review paper. Yes, they must develop a good review, but they should not write and try to publish a review paper. That is what my experience is. Reason is, as a beginner, generally what we do, we collect lot many papers, and we just try to what we can say, summarize the things. Okay, what X has done, what Y has done, what Z has done. But that will not get published in a good journal. And most of the time now, most of the journals, they are not accepting review papers which are developed by beginners. They generally invite review papers. Right? So those who are having good experience in a particular field, or they are having expertise in a particular field, journals are inviting review papers from them. So now most of the journals are not accepting review papers, and their editors are saying that because your review is not invited, it will not get, it will not go for the further review process itself. This is my experience also. Yes, you can write a review paper and you can publish in a smaller journal, a good journal, but not of the higher level. But if you want to write a review paper, I'll share one good review paper which I generally follow when I am asking my research scholar to at least develop a review paper. That is about lean and green manufacturing. It is by Garza Reyes. It's a very good review paper where you can see. And another thing which generally we do not consider, when we write review paper, generally we try to include 150 papers together, which is not good. We can develop a good quality review paper with 20-25 word papers also. But how to identify those 20-25 word papers, that is the challenge. Out of those, if you type something, you will find lakhs of papers. Now from those papers, you have to identify those 20-25 papers which are exactly looking at, or which can help you to identify the gap in the existing literature, the trend in the current research, and it will also help you develop a set of research questions which can be further investigated in future. The outcome of any review paper is nothing but a set of research questions which can be further investigated in coming years. And that is where This Garza AS paper is very important. So I'll be sharing 3 papers with you, Professor Shruti, and you can certainly forward it to your participants.
Okay, sir. Sir, another question is there.
Please.
Yeah, just I'm reading, sir. Institutions are emphasizing on the publishing in the Scopus Index Journal. Is Scopus is better than Web of Science Index Journal?
That is the policy of institute or university. And there is no, we cannot say that this is better and this is not. But Scopus is largely accepted. And so, why you are targeting Scopus or Web of Science?
No, sir. We are targeting publishers.
You must
And
target
particular
journals having impact factor. As
Yes,
simple
sir.
as this. If
Yes.
a journal is having impact factor, that means it is acceptable everywhere. And it will also help you to get a better academic position in your career path. So you should forget about Scopus or Web of Science. Target journal having at least impact factor. 0.5 है या 8 है, वो बाद में देखिए, लेकिन इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर है. स्टडी वेट एनालिसिस में वो कहीं पे दिख रहा है. और हम अपने एरिया की बात करें, इंडस्ट्रियल इंजीनियरिंग और मैनेजमेंट एरिया की बात करें, ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट एज लार्ज बात करें, एबीडीसी टारगेट करिए.
Sir, one more question is there. Reviewers sometimes demand to use the software for literature mining. Do you know any free software for that? Most of them are commercial.
Most of them are commercial. I agree, and I don't know any freeware for that. Sorry, I do not have any idea on that.
Yes, sir. You can start your slide, sir.
Yes, so you can contact me on my email for your query, for your doubts, for your questions anytime. Always welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful session. Even I was go back in my previous days where you were teaching us. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting this invitation, and the session was very useful to us. Thank you very much, sir.
Can I have feedback from 1 or 2 participants which can help me to improve on this? And anyone?
Please, participants, please give the feedbacks. Prabhu sir, Senthil Prabhu sir. Any feedback? Any feedback? Mahesh sir.
Patange ji.
Gajanan sir, Gajanan Patange sir. Abhishek Mishra, sir. Anyone?
So it has been an excellent presentation, and it's most of your experience rather than any stuff from the book, and very especially which one you have presented in the last, that will be very, very helpful for the researchers. It's a gem. All ideas are a gem, and if we implement, certainly we will be able to publish in high impact factor journals.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
My best wishes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.